everyone, and good morning. Happy 23rd of March, our first day of distance learning. Wonderful to have you here. Today is our first webinar number 1. Okay, it's the first of our grade 4 distance learning series. I'm Miss Courtney, and today this is webinar number 1. So, everybody, first of all, as always, please take out your notebooks. What's today's date? Please open up your notebook and write down the date now. You should always write everything in your notebook because just as always, like when we're in class, this is going to be just like class, just a little bit further away. Okay? Today is Monday, the 23rd of March, 2020. Please, everything that we do, all the dates, anything I ask you to write in your notebooks, please do it because when we come back from quarantine, guys, I will be checking your notebooks, okay? Let's get ready to learn. So, my first question to you guys is, what do you think the topic of our webinar is today? Okay? Write the answer down in your notebook. Please look at the pictures. Okay? So take a moment or two. Please look at the pictures. Look at the people in the pictures and some other things. And tell me what you think, or write me what you think. Write the answer in your notebook. What you think we will be talking about today. Okay. If you wrote the word family, you're right. Okay? Let's continue further. Okay, as you know, family is not a new topic for us. We've been learning about family for ever since probably the first grade or even earlier. Okay, it's one of our most basic topics. But let's see what you remember, okay? Do you remember all of the words about family members? Because I bet you there are some that you don't know. Even family who you don't live with, family who lives far away, who are not part of your immediate family, not your brothers or your sisters. Okay? Let's see what you remember. In your notebooks right now, I would like you to please make a mind map. You know what these are, okay? Please write all of the family words you remember and their Russian translation. Let's go. Now, in case you have forgotten how to make a mind map, you draw a circle in your notebook and please write the word family right in the middle. Then draw lines. Please write the English word for a family member and the Russian translation as I did here, okay? My example for you is cousin, двоюродный брат или двоюродная сестра, okay? I'm going to give you a little life hack. I chose this word for a reason because I know that some of you, when I ask you how many brothers or sisters you have, you add your cousins. But in English, a brother and a sister only means брат или сестра. It does not mean двоюродный или двоюродная. Okay? For двоюродный брат и двоюродная сестра, we have got a special word, and that word is cousin. Okay? So I chose this word to help you. Okay? Let's see what other words you can come up with. Please pause the webinar now. Stop it. Okay? In your notebook now, please draw your mind map. Okay? Draw and write as many family words as you can and their translation. After you finish, move to the next slide. Continue the webinar. Okay, so let's see what you guys remembered. Okay? So we have got our mind map with family in the middle. All right? Again, here's my example for you, cousin. Let's see what other words you came up with. Maybe you came up with aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, niece, nephew, okay? And of course, I hope you had mother, father, sister, and brother. These are the words that we know from kindergarten or first grade, okay? So, these are the words that you need to know. Mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, aunt, uncle, grandma, grandpa, niece, and nephew. For those of you who are super motivated, I have some special bonus words for you. Okay? So look at your notebooks. Let's see how many of these you got right. All right? And let's see if you wrote any of the bonus words down. Think about these questions also. How many words did you write? How many of these words did you know? How many are review words? Okay? And how many are new words? You don't have to answer these questions in your notebook. Okay? Just think about it. Look at your work and think. Now, for those of you who like bonus words, here are some bonus words for you. You don't have to know them, but you might find them interesting. So these bonus words are grandson, granddaughter, godmother, godfather, godson, and goddaughter. Okay? Sometimes we have special family members who aren't part of the family, but they're part of the family in a different way. Okay? So look at these books. Look at these words. Okay? Please know the words up top, the ones with the mind map. The bonus words are your choice. Okay? You don't have to know them. Now, let's see if you can do our practice task 1, family tree. Can you complete this exercise? Okay? So, we have a family tree, and we have to talk about who's in the family tree. Before you start this exercise, I would like to tell you a few life hacks about this exercise. There's some special words here you need to know. So, the word sibling. Sibling means брат или сестра просто. Okay? So just know sibling, это значит либо брат или сестра просто. Great-grandma is прабабушка. Wife is жена. Husband is муж. Now, take a few minutes, please, and do this exercise in your notebook. Okay? You can write the numbers and you can write the names. You don't have to write the whole sentence. Okay? Please do this in your notebooks now. Stop the webinar, pause it, work, and then when you're finished, you can continue watching the webinar. Okay, everybody, so you finished exercise number 1 with the family tree. Let's check your work. How did you do? Okay. So, the first one, Peter's mother is Mrs. Smith. You were supposed to complete the sentences by looking at the picture. Okay? Number 2, Peter's sisters are Rachel and Mary. Number 3, Peter's aunts are Aunt Sally and Aunt Jamim. Peter's cousins are Kate and Carolyn. Number 5, Mr. Jones's wife is Mrs. Jones. Number 6, Mrs. Smith's husband is Mr. Smith. Number 7, Mr. Jones and Mrs. Jones's children are Kate and Carolyn. Number 8, Mr. Smith's siblings are Uncle George and Aunt Sally. Number 9, Aunt Jamim's niece is Rachel or Mary. Both of these answers are okay. Number 10, Kate's grandparents are Grandma Jones and Grandpa Jones. Okay? Now, look at my answers and look at your answers. Compare them. Okay? I hope you did a good job. I hope it wasn't too difficult. Now, everybody, let's move to the next task. It's writing time. So we have some new words and we have some old words about family, okay? But I want to know who's in your family. Do you have any younger brothers or sisters? What does that mean? Younger. Mладше. Okay. Do you have any older brothers or sisters? Older. Старше. Do you have any cousins, uncles, or aunts? Do you have grandpas or grandmas? Do you have any pets? Okay. Please stop the webinar now and please answer these questions in your notebooks. Please write in full sentences. After you are finished, continue watching the webinar. Okay, now we are beginning the second part of our webinar about grammar. Okay, so let's see. Do you remember how to compare people and things? For example, Mr. Jones is taller than Mr. Smith. Okay, on the left we see Mr. Jones and on the right we see Mr. Smith. All right, as you can see, Mr. Jones is much taller and Mr. Smith, he's very small. He's much shorter than Mr. Jones, all right? So Mr. Jones is taller and Mr. Smith is shorter. Here are 3 more examples. Mr. Walter is fatter than Mr. Ozzy. Mr. Ozzy is hungrier than Mr. Walter. A hamburger is more expensive than a cookie. Okay, so now let's look at the words here, okay? We have a special word, than. It's not a spelling mistake. It's not then, it's than. Than is чем, okay? So Mr. Jones is taller than Mr. Smith. Значит, Mr. Jones выше, чем Mr. Smith, okay? If we look at the bottom, Mr. Walter is fatter than Mr. Ozzy. Mr. Walter, он толще, чем Mr. Ozzy. Second one, Mr. Ozzy is hungrier than Mr. Walter. Mr. Ozzy, он голоднее, чем Mr. Walter. A hamburger is more expensive than a cookie. Гамбургер более дорогой, чем печенюшка. Okay, so I hope you see how these things are constructed. Do you remember now what we learned from the beginning of the year? Is this a good review for you? On the next slide, we have a helpful chart. Okay, now you need to remember that when we make adjectives into comparatives, we need to clap. Okay, a syllable in Russian is слога. So, для прилагательных, которые имеют только одна слога, мы можем мерить слога, когда мы хлопаем, например. Значит, слово long, например. Long. Straight. Straight. Big. Big. Tall. Tall. Эти слова имеют только одна слога. Когда у нас есть одна слога прилагательная, мы добавляем er на окончание. Окей? Быть аккуратно, если слово заканчивается на букву «е», мы только добавляем букву «r». 2 «е» не добавляем. Если слово имеет короткий звук в середине слова, например, big или hot, это когда есть согласные вокруг один гласный, короткий звук, мы удваиваем последний согласный, окей, и потом добавляем er. Это правило правописания, окей. Если у нас есть слово, которое есть 2 слога, honest, honest, happy, happy, вот, эти слова имеют 2 слога. И там есть те, которые соблюдают правила и добавляем er на окончание. Но там есть те, которые нет. И там есть несколько исключений, которые используют слово more, более. Okay? Famous, more famous. Honest, more honest. Okay? Тоже дай внимание. Если прилагательное заканчивается на букву y, типа того, мы его снимаем, мы добавляем букву I с точкой, и потом добавляем er. Окей? Если прилагательное имеет 3 или больше слогов, тогда мы добавляем слово more впереди. Okay? А прилагательный сам мы не изменим, мы его не трогаем. Okay? So, for example, the word expensive становится more expensive. Beautiful становится more beautiful. Okay? Then we have special words that don't follow the rules. Okay? They're called irregular adjectives. Good, bad, many, little. Good does not become gooder. Bad does not become badder. Many doesn't become manier. Littler, no. We have special words. Good becomes better, лучше. Bad becomes worse, хуже. Many, много становится больше, more. Little, мало становится less, меньше. Okay? So just know there's some special words that don't follow the rules. Let's move on. Now it's grammar time. Let's see. Can you change these adjectives into their comparative form? I have an example for you with tall and taller. You see on the left we have adjectives, прилагательное. So we have tall. Если в сравнительном форме, he becomes taller. Okay? Now, please take a few minutes, stop the webinar, and please write this chart in your notebook. Please change the adjectives into their comparative form. After this, you can continue the webinar, but stop now. Okay, so it seems that you must be finished by now. Let's check your work. Small becomes smaller. Expensive, more expensive. Happy, happier. Delicious, more delicious. Tasty, tastier. Sad, sadder. Fat, fatter. Tall, taller. Smart, smarter. Friendly, friendlier. Beautiful, more beautiful. Now, guys, it's that time again, writing time. Please write 3 sentences in your notebooks using comparisons. Maybe it's Mr. Walter is fatter than Mr. Ozzy, or maybe it's the sun is more beautiful than the moon. Think of 3 sentences that you can remember, okay, or that you would like to write using comparisons. Please stop the webinar and please write these 3 comparisons in your notebooks. Please write in full sentences. After you're finished, continue watching the webinar. Okay, now we seem to have finished today, okay? Today was our very first webinar. I'm very happy that you're here today with me. I miss all of you very much, okay? I can't wait to see your faces again when we come back in April. All right, so today we did a lot of things. Today we reviewed the names of family members. We learned some new family member words, and we reviewed comparisons. After watching this webinar, and also doing the exercises in PDF files on Dnevnik, I hope that you can name your family members, write about your family, make adjectives into comparisons, and make sentences using comparisons. Okay? Thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you for A and for B. Okay, now please go to Dnevnik.ru and please complete the PDF worksheet there. When you finish it, save it in PDF format, attach your homework on Dnevnik.ru, and please send it back to me. I will grade it for you and I will write commentary. Okay, guys? Thank you so much and have a great day.